Hi everyone, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice from a Dementia Unit and The Resident's Rise from a Dementia Unit. So today's session is going to be on residents in dementia units having compassion, love and compassion for each other. Now in any dementia facility, you're going to have a range of people in terms of at the high end, people that are residents who are very difficult, and then at the other end, residents who are not difficult at all. So what actually happens is that those that are not difficult, it's difficult for them to cope with these difficult residents, because if they're shouting and hollering and screaming all day, the resident who is settled and focused and trying to read and trying to engage in activities and trying to converse with their relative has to cope with this shouting and carrying on from the difficult residents. So how to go about this? How do the residents cope actually? Firstly, how do they cope? And secondly, how on earth do they develop love and compassion for these really difficult, angry, isolated, non-supported residents? Okay, so there's a number of ways to go about this. It is difficult and it does take effort, but I'll just explain actually one instance of one woman who managed to sort of work her way around this. She was a very bright lady. She loved reading. She was academic. She spoke well. She had a good sense of humour, but sarcastic at times, acerbic wit. She'd obviously had that all her life and tended to barb people, which is not good. And she knew that. She knew it was a weakness of hers, and she knew she had to try and change it, but she just couldn't. And so anyway, she was very keen-eyed. She'd observe everyone, knew their names even. She'd worked that out. Did have a terrible memory, of course, didn't know where her room was, always got lost, but, in terms of focus and observation, excellent. Anyway, she used to get brassed off with this one particular resident who was always saying, where am I? Where am I? How can I get, where am I? Where am I? What's happening? I mean, it just went on and on and on all day. It was high level, negative serenade, you might say. Anyway, this woman used to get really frustrated, definitely no love and compassion at this point. She used to get really frustrated and, shout out, can you just be quiet, shut up, whatever, but it made no difference. So she realized in the end, she said, look, look, that woman, you can tell by the face, actually, she said, of the people that are stressed here, and the people that shout and scream. Their face is always stressed. They're always the same. No matter what you say, it doesn't make any difference. So she realized she was wasting her energy telling this woman to be quiet. So that was the first realization towards the road of love and compassion. And the second thing was that she made a friend, a very good friend. He was from the army, and they used to spend a lot of time together. In contrast, the man that was from the army, I don't know, he just had the most remarkable personality. He just seemed to be able to, maybe it was the army that did it and all that firing of guns and stuff, but no matter what the chaos in the unit, and there often is a lot, no matter what was happening, no matter the fighting and shouting and screaming, doesn't matter, no matter what was happening. And it is a bit like a war zone, a battle zone sometimes. He would just walk through like a saint, calmly, greeting everyone, shaking their hand, saying good morning, patting them on the back. Same thing every morning. No matter what was going on, war zone or not, he was the same. I think he actually found it entertaining, to be honest. He just enjoyed it, enjoyed the woman's attention, and he enjoyed his role, and he was just right in there playing his part, and he did it well. Anyway, this woman who was the big reader, she observed him and saw that well, he's not getting, and she was friends with him at this point, right? And began to realize like he wasn't getting affected. He was not getting stressed. He was loving and compassionate, incarnate, in fact. Everyone he was kind to, everyone he was compassionate to. Remarkable, you know. He didn't have, there was not one person in that dementia facility that he was not kind to. And she certainly witnessed this, and compared to her behavior, you know, which was reactive, there was quite a contrast. Anyway, so you could see that she was sort of starting to discipline herself a bit, in terms of not, you know, telling people to shut up as much. And, you know, she was trying to bite her tongue, so to speak. Because she felt, you know, now she had this lovely male friend who she'd been wanting to have a lovely male friend for so long. Now that he was there, she thought she'd better behave a bit better. So she was doing that. And then she also had a really lovely female friend who was incredibly elegant and eloquent and calm and just charming. And certainly she was very compassionate, very considerate of the other residents in every way, shape and form. So she had these two people by her side who were, you know, good citizens, good dementia unit citizens. And she felt that she better sort of smarten up and make an effort. And she did. She did. She really tried hard. And she'd say to me, I'm trying hard. I'm trying hard. I have to make an effort here. You know, I do. I know I have to try. They can't help it. You know, it doesn't make any difference if you shout out. And she stopped shouting out. She used her discipline, you know, her willpower. And she started calming down with these, you know, chaotic residents, saved her energy, and was even able to continue to read amidst the chaos. A bit like the army guy, she just carried on with her daily activities. And she started becoming a bit compassionate and loving as well. You know, I mean, she'd say the odd word to the residents and be kind to them, you know, when they weren't yelling and screaming. And you could see that she wasn't stressed, that effort and discipline of being tolerant and that, you know, trying to be kind. She activated that. She activated love and compassion because being mentored really, more or less, by her male friend and her female friend, and through observation followed them. Remarkable, isn't it? How you can activate that. You know, the power of company. Is it the power of the gathering, or the power of company, the power of the people who you're with? You will absorb that through osmosis, and especially if you're keen-eyed and into observation, and you want to learn and you want to change and you know what's good and you know what's right, but you haven't been able to do it. But here are two people with you all day long doing exactly what you know you should do. It's almost better than praying and meditating. Although meditating and praying is very good as well, I have to say. But that can take years to develop, you know, that compassionate, loving attitude like the Buddhists do remarkably and beautifully. That's a really big discipline. But in our daily lives, for most of us that are not doing that, we can activate it through different means. And this is just one example here of through observation, interest, effort, willpower, being able to change through that active work, being able to change your attitude so that you can be more considerate and tolerant, and with that having some, you know, love and compassion for the people around you, which saves your energy, by the way, and you're much more likely to have a better life as a result of it, which the residents did, supporting each other in this way. And we can learn from them, which indeed I did. So that's the end of the session today. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. All of you out there who are subscribing, I so appreciate it. And the comments coming in, fantastic. I'm including your comments here in the videos. You may notice that, all the things that you're saying. Actually, it was one of the comments yesterday. A girl or a lady, I don't know how old she was, wrote in and said, yes, you know, love and compassion is very important too. I thought, yes, indeed it is. And I haven't talked about that much. So that's what inspired these videos today. So thank you out there. I really appreciate that input. So that's it for today. Thank you.